All right. So this is my case study. I'd like you guys to meet Larry David Hilton. He's a service missionary at Family Search. This is a picture of him. He has been blind all his life. He was blinded when he was born. There was a complication while his mother was giving birth to him, and ever since then he has been blind. And he's a QA tester. He tests the accessibility of all the Family Search products, or at least some of them. So I met him while he was walking down um, the the hallways. Like how he works is he has his headphones in, and he'll be testing out the screen reader on his mobile phone, his iPhone. And I just kind of saw him walking around, and I introduced myself, and this is us just talking. And then later, I'll have a little video of him using his iPhone and just demonstrating that. But he's a pretty impressive dude. Very tech savvy for his disability. His typical day consists of catching a ride share from Kaysville to the nearest front runner station to commute to work. He checks his email and Outlook, and surprisingly, his email is very accessible. The Outlook app is very accessible, and then he'll do a daily stand-up with the team he's assigned to. Then he does QA testing using screen reader technology to see the compatibility of all the web products on his phone, and I'm pretty sure he does it on his computer as well at work. He's also studying other languages. He speaks Spanish and Portuguese pretty fluently. He's pretty prolific. Yeah, he's taught himself how to code using screen reader technology, and he loves linguistics, which I think is really a great thing to study if you're blind, is understanding how words work. And I think that's a great way to make a living in the future for him. Typical challenges. He is very resilient, and he didn't have a lot of complaints when I asked him this question. But he does see many accessibility issues throughout the internet. The internet is not where it needs to be accessibility wise. And then he also went through mainstream school. Meaning that like he went through public schooling, he had trouble, being judged or bullied by other kids, and then also it was tough to rely on a computer to do his homework, but he needed a lot of help going into it. And then eventually he went to a 3 month blind course in Louisiana, and then he did another one in Salt Lake City. And so he's pretty self sufficient, reads Braille, understands the internet pretty well, and he's pretty passionate about technology and what it could do for us. Assistive technologies, he uses dynamic Braille readers, free screen readers, offer Max books on his iPhone, and the Braille plugins on his computer. Here's a video of him using the screen reader on his iPhone.
I'm using iOS 11. The user interface is Portuguese. The text-to-speech is Portuguese. The text-to-speech I'm using right now is Nuance Vocalizer, formerly Liquendo Felipe, Brazilian accented. I'm also using the Brazilian interface, but I'm using VoiceOver, which is the default screen reader for iOS mobile devices. iOS mobile devices, which are your iPhones, your iPads, and your iPods, all come with a built-in screen reader known as VoiceOver. And Android devices also have screen readers, as do Linux devices, Windows phones. See, here's a thing where this is binging and I can't turn it off because I can't get to the UI. But
Here, let me help you.
No,
Oh,
my gestures are different. All you'll be
Oh.
doing is going by character if you do the one finger.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Okay. So it's pretty impressive. What was cool that wasn't planned was just the part where his alarm went off and he wasn't able to access the UI right away, just because it had like that little like preview window, like push notification. And I couldn't help him because when you turn on accessibility on your phone, gestures are different, so it's not very accessible to people that don't have visual disabilities either. A big quote for him was that I thought was really cool was that accessible doesn't necessarily mean usable. And what he meant by that is that people might go like a whole hog on accessibility functionality, but it doesn't mean that it's makes the task easier to do or it's easier to use. So to keep that in mind, that accessibility should also have good UX design principles. And we learn about Alexa skills, and I just activated my Alexa, um, and and then I think that there's just a really big market for just voice experience design. And that goes into my last slide. Instead of suggesting any accessibility technologies, I don't think I'd have the hubris to suggest anything to him, really, because he's pretty tech savvy, and he's very resilient for a blind person, and is very self-reliant as well. He's very passionate about making the web more accessible, and he wants to design accessible products. And we talked about how he taught himself how to code and how he wants to study linguistics to design voice experiences. And he actually plans on attending UVU this fall when his brother gets home from a mission in Portugal. And I'm assuming his brother's going to go with him to UVU. And I suggest he takes the UX major and just doubles down on Alexa skills. I think that's super awesome that he is he is handy capable, and he wants to make products and experiences that help people with disabilities. And so we might see him around this upcoming year. And I really hope he becomes a UX major, because that'd be really cool if we had more people, like blind people, designing UX experiences. Okay, that's it. I think. Yep, that's it.